Debt Jubilee, student loans, yahoo! Ready to go, rock and roll. We are all loving life, aren't we? Oh, no, we're not. Oh, well, government's paying off student loans, 10,000 or more for people who qualify. So the government's going to continue doing insane things. What's new? This is a fact of life. We need to understand this. You need to either, one, vote people out who are against liberty, against your freedoms, against individual rights, against individual property rights, etc. That has to happen, or else we'll have more and more and more and more chaos. That is guaranteed. I can absolutely mathematically guarantee that will happen. So we can either do that and vote people out on either side of the aisle or any side of the aisle that aren't looking out for you, your rights, and your individual rights, property rights, etc., your freedoms and liberties, and or we can get ourselves prepared. We can become independent. We can become resilient. Food, Bitcoin, gold, silver, energy, water, security, barterability, as Lynette Zhang says. So we have to get prepared. We have to understand what is going on. We do this, my real estate team, we do this. We help people buy and sell homes. We also invest in homes, investing in apartment complexes, investing in self-storage. We're all over the real estate industry over the last 10 years. We have a wide breadth of knowledge. We're seeing massive slowdowns in real estate, and it's demand destruction. The Fed is purposely trying to destroy things because we have to slow things down. We have this managed, manipulated economy. We've had it since 1913, since the Federal Reserve existed, and the IRS came in that same year. That's the manipulation of the market. That's the insane world we live in. Bitcoin fixes that. That's the beautiful part about Bitcoin. That's why if you're a freedom lover, you will love Bitcoin. If you're a climate lover, you will love Bitcoin. If you're someone that wants freedom of choice, freedom of expression, property rights, any type of freedom, you will love Bitcoin. I mean, the climate people, ESG is a fake, false narrative spun up to control and take wealth and property and rights away from people. Because if you actually love climate, you would love Bitcoin because it's capturing stranded energy. It's capturing pollution and turning it into, I just saw the latest from the Bitcoin Mining Council, up to 50 to 65% of energy from Bitcoin mining is renewable energy. It's the most in the world out of any country, at least the stats that I've seen. I'll try to share them in here as well. But we have to start understanding that the people in power, they don't have our best intentions in heart. Governments never do. Governments are never incentivized to have the best intentions of their people. Politicians only have two things they do. Number one, two rules: get elected. Number two, get reelected. So whatever they're going to do, that's why things like this, the debt jubilees, the paying off of student loans, and getting loans in the first place it's insane. The only undischargeable, non-dischargeable debt you can acquire off of something that doesn't guarantee you any money at all, no wealth. It's a worthless piece of paper you get at the end of 4 years of college, or 6 or 10, however long you're there. So politicians are going to do whatever they can to kick the can down the road and not make hard, accountable, disciplined decisions on what's good for the betterment of you long-term, or you yourself individually at all, or your family, your kids. You're the one that has to look out for that. You have to be doing that. And we have abdicated all responsibility and discipline in ourselves. And we've outsourced our thinking, outsourced our accountability, outsourced our discipline, all to other people, all to politicians who gladly take those rights and responsibilities from you, and then go turn around and take that and make all of your decisions for you and make your standard of life go down, 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 as evidenced by inflation going up, 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 and up, losing rights, being searched by the TSA, Department of Homeland Security, the Patriot Act, all these things, on and on and on. Inflation Reduction Act, yet they were just printing up $800 billion for this act that's going to reduce inflation by spending more. We could pay off everyone's debts, or just have school be free, which is another story in itself, not a great idea. But yet, I just saw a stat again, there'd be 60 to 70 billion to do that, to pay off every kid's tuition. But we just sent 60 billion, 70 billion, 80 billion over in the last 6 months to Ukraine. Who voted for that? So again, priorities. Life comes down to two things: priorities and decisions, like we talked about this week. So we have to understand that the big thing at the end of the day is, if you aren't paying attention, you're going to miss a lot of these things, and then you're subjected to the whim of the politicians and the people around you. If you're pulling your head out of the sand. 10 years ago, I saw this coming. I saw the writing on the wall. I remember telling my then fiance and now wife, saying that they are going to cancel student loans. And in some of this too, even the Bitcoiner world is outweighing your government. And it's kind of a philosophy of just having a low time preference, having patience, and outweighting your government, because it will change. Monetary regimes are going to collapse and already are collapsing and will change. They'll transition. Tax laws are going to change. Outweighting your government. This is one of those things. Student debt, we already see that they are trying to get more people into government. And if you do that for 10 years, they'll get rid of your debt, and et cetera, et cetera. So you could see the writing on the wall. And then during Obama and Biden, they said, hey, if you are going to community college for 2 years or whatever it was, we'll give it to you for free. So I predicted a couple things. One, they will make college completely free. And I believe Bernie Sanders 4 years ago was touting, or one of the elections in the last couple of years was saying we need to make college completely for free. And now you're seeing it all the time. You're seeing it everywhere. And then the other thing I predicted is that we would have student loan debts being canceled. And sure enough, here we are. And it doesn't mean you don't make your payments, but you make the minimum payments. And then you go invest that money smartly, astutely in other areas and grow your wealth. So it's just a different philosophy, and it's understanding the political winds and the winds of change. And that's the really big difference. You have to pull your head out of the sand. And it's so easy nowadays with TV subscriptions and cable subscriptions and video games and all the other things out there. But it comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of your wealth, your freedom, your time, most importantly, because all money is your time. It's a representation of your time. So we have to be very cognizant of that, or we're going to continually lose that and continue to lose freedoms. And one day your grandkids are going to wake up and say, hey, grandma and grandpa, like, you guys had freedom. What was that like? Like, how come you didn't preserve that for us? That's what's coming. That's why there's a Canadian trucker protest. That's why the Dutch farmers. That's why Sri Lanka is collapsing. It's the ESG movement. It's the World Economic Forum. It's all these people trying to control life and trying to manipulate from one central ivory tower 1 trillion different inputs in the global 8 billion person economy. That's literally impossible. You can't do that. And now we're seeing shortages, energy shortages, food shortages, famines, droughts. We're seeing famine talked about all the time now. We got to eat bugs from the World Economic Forum, cannibalism from the New York Times, all these things. In the 20th century, we had a lot of famine. There was a lot of people that unfortunately lost their lives because of Marxist governments in the eastern part of the world that tried all of these things. These things are not new. So we have to get independent, get resilient, and prepare for what's coming. This is the most important thing. And see the writing on the wall. Make your bets, place your bets. I know where my bets are placed. That's why I've went in hardcore into putting out content and helping all of our clients. And I've lost a lot of business over the years, and our company's lost a lot of business, quite honestly, because we've told people the hard things. I didn't want to tell people things I didn't believe, and it might have sacrificed now business, but I honestly believe long term that doing the godly thing, doing the right thing now will pay dividends long term. And it's trying to prepare myself, my family, my friends, all the people around us, our clients, vendors, partners, and spreading the word of freedom, really, at the end of the day, because I know and I believe in the human condition and know that people are good inherently at heart and want to do good. But when you're in a society that is rewarding and it's inflationary, and we're destroying value and we're destroying our currency, and people are at each other's throats because of that, and they don't know what the problem is, that rewards bad behavior. It rewards deception. It rewards people either being in politics or making crazy investments or just trying to get rid of their currency as fast as possible and get it into real estate, stocks, gold, silver, Bitcoin, whatever. Or you have to become a politician and you have to get as close to the money spigot as possible. So we don't want those things. We want the homeless person in San Francisco, or we want the poor people we name the developing country, that we want them to be able to save their time and their wealth in a savings technology in Bitcoin that goes up in value over time, in an appreciating asset, not a depreciating asset like dollars or any other fiat currency. So again, when people say the dollar goes up in value, that's relative. That's all relative to other fiat currencies. It's still going down in value. Trust me. If you're looking at charts, it's gone down 40-50% in value just from the year 2000. We've just printed 40% of all currency in the last 2.5 years alone. So which way is it going? Mathematically, every currency has to be printed more and more, so the value of it has to go down. It's mathematically guaranteed. Every fiat currency has gone to zero in the history of humankind. So place your bets accordingly. Again, appreciate you guys, your time, your energy. If you get something on these videos, please let me know. Please share them. Please let me know what we could do better and what you like, what you don't like. Again, please like and subscribe. We're going to continue doing these dang near every day and hopefully being some type of voice, at least at the very least. Selfishly, I can get the thoughts out of my head and I can not go insane. And everything's first principles. I've thought about this a lot over the years. Thinking from first principles, generalized principles, those are the building blocks of everything. It's, we tend to, in the society now, make things so difficult on ourselves because we don't look at things through first principles aspects. We think that 2 + 2 = 5 now. We're changing definitions of everything. We are just printing endless currency, destroying everything around us in our lives. And we don't know what's wrong. We just don't understand now what's wrong. And it's because we're trying to measure and build houses with 13-inch rulers when the blueprints call for a 12-inch ruler. And so it's going to continue getting harder. The 2 other predictions I have, we've made videos about them before. We're going to have mass chaos going forward. We're going to have civil unrest. So again, get prepared. And we are going to have, I think, the central bank digital currencies, which are going to be the most evil thing out there. We already see the social credit score over in Asia being rolled out. That is one of the most evil things I've ever seen in my life. Controlling everyone, turning off your money, and locking you out of the system when the government doesn't like what you're doing. And Bitcoin handles that. Bitcoin takes care of that. Bitcoin is the moat around your citadel. It's the moat around all the craziness in the world. And that's why we need to be outside the system. That is what Bitcoin is built for, exactly what it was built for in 2008, 2009, talking about the bailouts and the craziness going on then, and people losing trust in their monetary system. So we have to be aware of what's going on there. And like I said, the other prediction is the CBDC is going to roll out. The central bank digital currency, I believe, is going to roll out when they are ready for it. The governments are ready to roll it out. I think that will be most likely, could be Ethereum, honestly, one of these captured coins, because I don't think the government has enough technology or know-how to actually build the CBDC, and that's why we haven't seen it yet, because I think they've been trying to do this for 10 years now. And I think they're just going to capture one of these coins, like Ethereum, that's now moving to proof of stake, and you're going to see one of these coins become the central bank digital currency. Then they own everything in your life. They're spying on you 24/7, and they can do whatever they want with you. So we have to be prepared for that. And I believe that the economy then really, they've been kicking this can down the road, doing bailouts, creating this wealth gap, more and more printing currency. So that way the top 1%, 10%, they are the ones that generally have assets and are the ones that understand we need to put currency and then buy things of value. So the bottom 50, 60% at least have little to no assets. They just save in dollars, so their wealth gets destroyed more and more over time, and that wealth gap grows. But the bottom's really going to drop out when they are ready with the central bank digital currency, the CBDC. That's when you're going to see mass chaos, mass chaos. They're going to let the bottom drop out, and then they're going to come to you and say, hey, guess what? We'll buy your home. You can't afford your home anymore. Property taxes went way up so much, which is they're doing because they want to squeeze you out of your home. Or, hey, you just can't simply afford your home at all in general. We'll buy your house from you for 1.5 times its value. But all you got to do is download our FedCoin app, our CBDC. And you know what? We'll even give you an extra $10,000 and bribe you to be on it. Then they have you. Then you're controlled. Then you're captured. So that's my prediction, a couple of predictions. Like I said, I started this video with a couple of predictions I made 10 years ago and that have come true. And these are a couple more. And again, it's just seeing the writing on the wall. And then I've been telling everyone a lot lately is that when you got to read The Great Reset, you got to read The Great Narrative, the Malthusians, The Club of Rome, Limits to Growth, all these books tell you. This is why I can say that climate change or the ESG movement is a complete sham. It's because they want power control, number one. But number two, they've written about this for decades, saying this is how we're going to fool people into thinking that this is some global problem, and that's how we're going to gain control. So that's how I know those things, and that's why I tell everyone to go read, do your own homework. But when you put everything becomes clear. So many people I talk to say, this doesn't make sense, or why would they do this? They know that, but when you put your Marxist glasses on, your communist glasses, then everything comes into clear vision. Because it doesn't make sense. Things are very blurry when you don't understand history and you don't understand philosophy and what's actually going on in the direction that they are coming from and the direction they want to take everybody. But when you put those communist, Karl Marx glasses on, boom, then it becomes very clear. Now I can see exactly what's going on, and everything becomes very visible once you do that. So anyway, appreciate you guys more than anything. Appreciate your time, your energy. It's the most important thing we have. Like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. Please share if you got something out of this, and please comment on what you like, what you don't like, and let us know so we can continue growing, getting better, and providing you better value, better content. We'll see you guys in the next one.